A scientist had a car accident that resulted in him losing his left arm.
Welcome to our STEM activity, Finding Animals. By using the knowledge of gel electrophoresis, we are the second years of bioinnovation student at Mahidol University. In this video, we will show you about the example of situation and activity to apply the gel electrophoresis concept, and for easy to everyone who want to use our activity as a teaching tools, we made the full version of slide in the QR code that attached below. So now let's start. In this activity, we have the objective. First one is learners understand the principle of gel electrophoresis, and the second is learners can create simple gel electrophoresis. And the third is learners can realize or analyze the bands of DNA ladders by using the gel electrophoresis. And the last one is learners can apply the knowledge of cell electrophoresis in their life. Next is STEM activity is related to STEM according to age. Science is gel electrophoresis principles and DNA knowledge. And the last one is electricity, electric field and current. Next one is T, is technologies. We use the DNA technologies. And E is engineering, is about the circuit diagram. And the last one is M, mathematics. We calculate the electric fields to create the gel electrophoresis. Before we go to the situation, we need to tell you that all of the situation is just an idea and we are create for you to more understand about the concept and apply in STEM activity of gel electrophoresis only. If you guys are ready, let's see what happened.
A scientist had a car accident that resulted in him losing his left arm. He feels very sad and get depressed. But one day he saw an animal with a severe tail and it can regenerate a tail. So he thinks that if he can transfer the genes that can regenerate the tail from the animal and see if it is compatible with human gene, he could regenerate his left arm and be able to return his normal life. Then he searched for various types of animal with the DNA that can recombine with his organ cell. He extracted the DNA of those animals and compared it with his DNA to find a match in order to get his arm back. And from the situation, the question is, which animal's DNA have the most compatibility with scientist's DNA and explain why. So, to find the most compatibility DNA with scientist's DNA, we're gonna use the gel electrophoresis activity to find them. But first, let's take a look at the equipment and the methodology.
Moving on to the equipment of our activity. In the gel preparation part, we use agar powder and baking soda. To do a sample, we have to use food dye, syrup, and water. And we use baking soda and water as a buffer. To be more understand, you can get a manual of the experiment from this QR code. And this is our methodology for activity part. We will prepare the gel first. Followed by preparation of buffer. Next, sample preparation. This is the method to run the gel.
Next is after action review for our activity. You can scan QR code to see the full versions of this AAR. Let's start. Does activity follow our objectives? They have a two part, the follow and not follow. Let's start with the follow. The follow. First, learners understand the principle of the electrophoresis. Second, learner can analyze brands of DNA radars by using the electrophoresis. And the last one, learners can apply the knowledge in real life or real experiments. In part and not follow. Some steps of the experiment go long, but the result of the experiment is as we expect. Let's take a look at what's beyond our expectations. First, the result of the gel from our learners can run properly. Second, the time we take for activities followed the plan perfect. And the feedback from learners is beyond our expectations.
For feedback from our learners, you can also scan the QR code for the full version. For content and presentation part, learners say that the situation was interesting, but the atmosphere could be more excited. And for the activity part, some learners didn't have a chance to participate in the activity because of the space provided. Next, areas that we want to improve, starting with the first and second. The story did not relate to reality, and the story are not comprehensive. So if you could remember, our situation is about the DNA transplantation from the lizard to human body, which is quite not possible in current technology. Third, some learners were confused when they did the experiment because we did not give them a manual. The video that we have shown to the learners might be too fast, so that they cannot catch it promptly and clearly. Therefore, providing them with a manual should help their understanding. Fourth, the activity atmosphere was not interesting enough. This might be our mistake since we were not active enough to entertain the learners. Last, operators were not able to attract players' attention. This is the reason that makes the learners not participate in our activities and also creates the unsatisfactory atmosphere. These are improvement and protections. Write the story more realistic or conclude the story that relate to realistic in the end of the activity. Prepare and recheck equipment carefully. Provide a manual of our activity to learners to get them completely understand. Use more attractive voice or try to entertain to gain their attention. The time of the activity should be around 35 to 40 minutes for the learners who can observe the result and can do more part of prepare the material. Finally, this is a video of our whole activities, so you can scan and watch it if you're interested.
And the QR code on the right side is all of the files that we used in this video.
Thank
you for your attention.